Hey everybody, how you doing today? I've got a special message, bunch of messages, and I've got my spirit guides here to help me navigate this conversation in case I need help, because there's some very important things I want to say. And what are those important things? So first thing I want to say is everyday life, to be human, it's going to feel pretty miserable, right? Inhaling and exhaling the cesspool of all of time, all your memories, all your hardships, what you have to do tomorrow, and on and on and on and on. Oftentimes there's a little bit of a gray, maybe black, completely dark and dismal side of day-to-day life reality. And we inhale and exhale this. Like, this is a part of the fabric of our reality, and we're not really sure how to get out of it or how to make it better or when life is going to finally change for us. This is part of the conversation I wanted to talk about. I took some time to visit with the quantum field. So the quantum field is just when you can let go of your human self. You can be completely still. You don't have a name, you don't have a job, you don't have anywhere you have to be. You're a nothing. When you're literally a nothing, then you're basically just an open door to something. And then you let that something reveal information for you. So you're a bit conscious, but it's not about you, the human being. It's about you, the receiver of information, the downloader of something beyond yourself. And so when you open up to receiving information from beyond yourself, you have a question, you get an answer. Maybe your question and what the answer is, maybe they don't sync up and it's confusing, but you got to trust in what comes, okay? So with the quantum, I was wanting to explore some kind of message that would be of value to the everyday human being that struggles with the life path. And the life path isn't really that hard. It's just how much are you feeding into and letting it feed into you and convince you that things are worse. Things are worse and worse and worse, or things are the worst than they've ever been, or when is anything going to get better? And I guess this is just life. And and it just makes you feel like you're circulating and circulating and circulating and never get able to get out of the swamp. You can't get to heaven because you're always somewhere between purgatory and hell, and probably more in hell than ever in heaven. And when is heaven ever going to happen for you? And you've done everything right. How come you're not getting rewarded? And blah, blah, blah. So I wanted to make a message for that kind of person, which is pretty much anybody is going to relate to this conversation. I relate to this conversation. I lived in the dark for a long time. I really lived in the reality of how bad it truly is. Because guess what? It's really that bad. Well, wait a second. That's where the quantum's message comes in. The quantum was showing me this story that's going to be very familiar to you. The story of the Wizard of Oz, okay? Now, the Wizard of Oz, right? The almighty guy, he's got the solutions. To who? To a cowardly lion, because that lion was a freaking coward, man. And we've got this scarecrow. What a stupid idiot. That guy needs a brain, And we've got Dorothy. Oh, man, she's lost. She can't find her way home. Now we have this Tin Man, this hollow, empty shell of a being. Needs a heart. Do you see how the human perspective is? It's perfect. The story is perfect about human perspective. And so you've got a cowardly lion that is actually courageous in there. You've got a stupid scarecrow that's actually freaking brilliant in there. You've got this lost little girl in there that's actually right where she needs to be. She just needs to freaking admit it. She's in an amazing place. The best place she could ever hope to be, with the most curious of friends that are freaking awesome and are there for her. On a journey to the freaking Emerald City, you know what I mean? And then we have this Tin Man. My God, that guy is so loving. Has decided he doesn't have a heart and he needs one, and only the Wizard of Oz could give him one? Do you see human perception is so skewed? And so in what ways are you saying that it's not adding up for you? You need something that you don't have. And in what way are you lying to yourself? You actually have the thing. You've always had the thing. And you don't need to get to a place like the Emerald City or the Wizard of Oz. You already are the Wizard of Oz. You already are home. You already are surrounded with beautiful people, okay? You already have everything that you need. You have the courage already inside you. You have the intelligence inside yourself. You have the heart inside yourself. You have that place called home inside yourself. You're not lost. You know what you're freaking doing. Do you hear me on this? So if I'm telling you, you know what you're doing, now can you believe it? Could I be your Wizard of Oz today? And I could say, you know what you're doing. You have so much courage. You have so much intelligence. And you have a good heart. And you know exactly where you're going in life. And you couldn't be in a more beautiful place, a more extraordinary and interesting place than the place that you're in right now. If I could be your Wizard of Oz, if I could tell you that, could that be enough for you to finally start telling yourself that? Do you see how we just went from bleh, cesspool, I'm dying, toxicity, life sucks, to holy crap, oh my God, I'm courageous, I'm smart, I have a heart, really? You could be my Wizard of Oz? Yes! Cool. I'm telling you, this stuff works. It's magical. So the quantum was showing me this. Now I'm showing you this. So basically, somehow you got a hold of the quantum and the quantum showed you me and then I showed you this. So then you got the message from the quantum and it all worked out. Do you see how it works? All right. So, oh yeah, my spirit guides. I was looking for them. I still don't see them, but I know they're there because I can feel them in my heart because I have one of those things. Okay, so just a second. I'm listening to the squiggly lines of the infinite universe. So when I still my pond of myself, I let go of my identity. I'm not a person anymore. I'm just a blank canvas. And upon that blank canvas now, the intention is connection with my spirit guides, wise messengers from the quantum, you can call it. And I welcome their guidance, okay? So you can do this too. So you're doing this with me, okay? We're a part of each other here. They're really quiet. I mean, they're not jumping in at all. They're basically leaving me hanging here. You ever have one of those moments where it's like you say hi to someone and then they walk right past you and you're just like, oh, did they not see me? Oh, did they not want to see me? I feel like that right now. Like, where are you guys at? Why are you leaving me hanging here? Oh, they're not leaving me hanging. They basically are saying, I'm still trying to decide if I'll talk about the second thing because it's kind of a little bit different. But it does, okay, this second thing, it does apply to the conversation because in a way, like if there was some character in The Wizard of Oz that doubted themselves, what character would that be? So I'm doubting whether or not I'm ready to talk about this interesting experience that I had. And it happened over the course of a bunch of smaller experiences, so I could tell you the bigger picture of the breadcrumbs. I met a really neat, energetic being that I call Eyeball, all right? It's just like I've met many energetic beings that I've given names to, like Star Guy, and Ipagus gave me his name. Avery gave me his name. But I come across beings, and my life has felt for a lot of years like this song that I was singing this song when I was pregnant, because when you're pregnant, walking can be a difficult thing. So I would sing this song on my walks in my head to help me keep going. It's kind of like Whistle While You Work, but I would sing this song. One stupid foot in front of the other foot. And I'd just sing it over and over and over again. And it would help me get through my walks because my back hurt, my legs hurt, my feet hurt, the whole process hurt. And I just felt like I had stupid feet. Well, anyway. All right, so I don't even know where I was going with that. There's a point to all of this. So I met Eyeball. Oh yeah, my life. I guess that was the part that I was... See, I'm being a human being. I told you guys I might need help having this conversation. I was doing so good, and then I got in the lull of, should I talk about this other thing that I was kind of wanting to talk about? Maybe I should talk about, maybe I shouldn't. Oh, where's my spirit guides? God, they're leaving me hanging. Oh, I have to make a decision. I have to decide to talk about it? Okay, well, I'll tell you this about the stupid feet thing. that there's been a lot of years where I felt like one stupid foot in front of the other foot. A lot of human years, okay, where my life I felt like I have my head above water. That was never good enough. It's never good enough, the feeling of barely having your head above water and at any moment you could drown. Life has felt like that for me for years and years and years and years and years. And I never had gratitude for it. I could be drowning. And in fact, I'm quite certain that I definitely was drowning many times in the midst of all of this. But I still had my head above water because I wasn't dead yet, okay? So once you're dead, so head's definitely not above water anymore. Even if you're drowning, head is still above water. So that's my life in a nutshell. So one of the thoughts that came to me about eyeball is like, wow, I actually met a being. It's been a while since my life has been in a place where it hasn't been impossible and my head's barely been above water while I've been drowning, but I'm still not dead yet. So that's good. And I could actually get to know a being in the universe. And it occurred to me that I should get to know this being. I kind of started this channel talking about beings that I had met in the universe, and I phased out of that and kept, my nose to the grindstone, kept putting one stupid foot in front of the other, and I just keep going and following my heart. Even if I don't have all the answers for myself, I just know that there is a compass inside myself. I just know if I follow this yellow brick road, no matter what happens, I'm going to get to where I want to be. Somewhere amidst all of this, I'm going to get there somehow, some way. I just have to keep being dedicated to whatever this song is inside my heart that says keep going and don't give up. And no matter what happens, keep going and don't give up, okay? And here I am. I still keep going, and I'm not going to give up. And I'm not going to give up on myself or on you. Because sometimes we need someone to not give up on us, right? And so that's why I make these videos, because I'm not giving up on humanity or the need that someone out there might have a need for someone like me to say something that could change their life, because there have been people in my life who have said something so simple and I just happened to catch it and it changed my life and I'll never forget it. That's how important we are for each other. We inspire each other. And we bring out the worst and the best in each other for all the right reasons. Everything is good here, okay? It's a yellow brick road. It is the Emerald City. It's the Wizard of Oz. It's wonderful. Life is truly wonderful, okay? So that was one detail about Eyeball. The reason I called him Eyeball, because, well, I'll tell you how I found him. So things are happening in Canada, and this was a couple weeks ago. I wanted to look at the energy. This is in my own time. What is the energy around Canada right now, based on politics, based on the growth within Canada, and what the energy around it looks like. I just get curious about these things. So Abbey, I have an intention. I define the intention. I tell the universe what I want. I'm supposed to get what I want, right? No. I tell the universe what I want. The universe then tells me what is most essential for me at this time to be aware of. That's where Eyeball comes from. It wasn't about Canada or the energy around Canada. It was about Eyeball. And that's the quantum. That's the unknown. That's all possibilities. I present what I know, but I get what I don't know. And it is annoying at times because I want what I want, but I don't always get what I want. So it is what it is. I get the magical mystery of life. Okay. So in this quest to understanding Canada, I was taken through this weird doorway, and there was all these, the energy was about military, all right? This is a very fantastic journey, so I don't know how logical or real world it is, but the energetic being that I came across at the center amidst all of this is very important to our collective. And we're all connected to the strangest of things. That's why if you go to the quantum, you're going to rando, a place of the random. You're not going to the place where logic exists, because the quantum isn't about what's convenient for you, the human, and the way that you perceive reality. It's about mind-blowing stuff. And why does it have to be like that? And what the heck do you mean by what you say? And then you just left hanging, and you keep going back and back and back and back and back, and it helps you grow and transform from the inside out, and you become a super awesome person like me. I have to give myself credit. Otherwise, I'm going to be like a cowardly lion or a brainless scarecrow. Like I've got to give myself credit, right? I'm doing an awesome job being a human being, and I'm proud of myself. You guys can say that stuff to you as well. Went through this door, military involvement, underground space. It was made out of rings. And when I got to the center of many rings, there was this cube-shaped box, and all these people were guarding this cube-shaped box, and it was made out of like a bluish tinted glass. So there was a thing inside, a material, but the material was a residue, a remnant of some cells, some cells of a being that existed on planet Earth an extraordinarily long time ago that was in a container, okay? But the being was still in an inactive and yet slightly active state. That was the disturbing part about it. And because that material was in a container and it was being guarded, the mirror was being shifted. So the cells or the material, the residue that was contained, emanated benevolent energy, super benevolent energy. In this container, it was put in reverse. So it was being used to create the opposite, okay? I don't know how to understand it all myself, but I have come across stuff like this before. So in the energy world, I took the active energy and I put it in my heart, because everything is just etheric material. Everything is etheric material. So I put that etheric material in my heart. It became an eyeball, and I just launched out of this underground space. It's all etheric. I don't know where this exists in human reality, but it is connected to our collective reality somehow, some way. And so I launched out of there and went to a space that looks like outer space, full of stars, and it's an energy space. And this eyeball then went into my third eye and became part of my own third eye. And I saw in my third eye that the residue was from a being that is kind of like an immortal being. And it was very elvish in appearance. It had pale skin, blonde hair, blue eyes, masculine being, really genuinely gorgeous presence. Absolutely breathtaking, gorgeous presence. And that's eyeball. And now, after I had that experience and I came back, I was really annoyed because I wanted to know more about Canada and the future of Canada than I cared about eyeball or whatever that was. It's just too, if it's not logical enough, I don't know how much credit I can give it, but it's real to my soul. It's absolutely real to my soul. So am I doubting my own soul? And that's why I am who I am, because I think it's healthy. I think it's healthy to have question marks, to challenge this stuff. So a couple weeks to go by, and I remember eyeball, and I was telling my husband Joe about eyeball, and I asked, he really doesn't like the name, but I asked him if he'd go visit eyeball and tell me what he saw. And what he saw was soul imprisonment. And so soul imprisonment, you're not just one. You're multitude. You are in and of yourself a collective, which is pretty cool. So you in this life are made out of many parts of yourself. So there you go. There's your lion, your Tin Man, your Dorothy, your Scarecrow, and your Wizard of Oz, and your Wicked Witch of the West, and etc., etc., etc. It's all inside of you, okay? You're many parts of yourself. And sometimes you'll lock parts of yourself away on purpose. Like, let's say you have a super bad memory, and you want to forget it, so you lock it away. You literally are locking away a part of yourself until you're ready to reconcile it and bring it back to life. And you could lock those parts away across infinite time and space, okay? So that's where soul retrieval comes in, because you could have a traumatizing experience, be stuck in shock. You can be stalked. Stuck in shock. Hey, I created a new word, all right? It's called stalk, but it's not about stalking things like on a shelf. It's about shock. Stuck in shock. Just like, we just shortened that up. Anyway, so that's what soul retrieval is. You have a part of yourself that's stuck in shock, just stalked. Grasp it, bring it on back. Because we're done with that. We're done holding on to that tiny little point in infinite time. And it's okay to let that go. It's okay that it was really that bad. It's okay that you didn't know how to feel about that at that time. It's okay that you really don't know what to do about it, and you still don't know what to do about it, and you're still holding on to it from somewhere. And now it's okay to just let that go and come back to yourself. It's okay when bad things happen, because we grow through these difficult times. So there was this this energetic space of an imprisoned soul, which guess what? I found eyeball in an actual container where the active residue, which was some cells, was being contained. I brought that inside myself and left, okay? Well, Joe also came across a container for this residue. And so the form that was there of eyeball was basically a human-esque form, and it had nothing on the inside. It literally just black for eyes, because there's nothing on the inside. And it was on its knees, and it was held up here. Arms were, in shackles against a wall, but the wall was made out of fire, and everything was made out of fire. And there was this puddle of water. And in this puddle of water, the spirit of eyeball existed inside that puddle of water, where if you look at the ceiling, you get the joy of looking at your corpse self looking down at you with hollow eyes in a fire world, okay? And so if you tried to break the shackles to set this eyeball body free, to get the spirit out of the water, etc., the flames would come and put the shackles back. So what's the solution? So Joe had got help from Jesus, and Jesus brought the tears of Christ, and the tears of Christ then were poured upon the body of eyeball in this scene, okay? And then the fire wasn't able to hold the shackles together, and the body fell into the puddle and became one with the spirit of itself. And then from the puddle, Joe and Jesus carry eyeball out of this space into a garden space where Joe saw the exact same image with the very intense blue eyes and the blonde hair. And so from there, I really felt impacted by the reality that my life isn't one stupid foot in front of the other foot. I could actually explore getting to know eyeball more in the midst of hearing the vibration and the presence of the human race is really struggling with the cesspool. And I need to remind you all that don't lie to yourself. You're not a coward. You're freaking courageous. You're not stupid. You're freaking smart, okay? And you're not hollow. You have a heart. And you're not lost. You know exactly where you are. And this is a freaking yellow brick road, and we're in this together. High five, okay? So I could feel that. I knew that existed. I knew I needed to make a message to help say that. And I just wanted to tell you guys about eyeball. I just wanted to tell you. And I wasn't sure if I should say it now, if I should say it later. Well, shoot, I just said it. I've had more experiences with eyeball, but I'm just going to say this for now, and I'll just make a video to tell you more about eyeball, and that's all I've got to say about that. Okay, so I hope you're all doing well. I hope this message helps. It's an interesting universe that we live in, and you aren't closed off from accessing it. Even in despair, you're not. In all my despair, I was not. It's our biological right, our spiritual right, to have access to the living information, the living library that exists all around us. The only thing you have to do to access the quantum field, and it's so freaking easy to do it, is just let go of being human for 5 freaking minutes. And the way the quantum will speak to you, it's going to show you random pictures that very well could be displeasing. Like when I wanted to know the future of Canada and I was taken to eyeball in a little jar. It's not what I wanted to know. I didn't care about that. But now I realize, the universe is showing me the yellow brick road, and I'm going to a new kind of emerald city and the information that I wasn't expecting. And that's how the quantum works. So if you chill and you completely let go of everything that's bothering you right now in your life, that you're feeding your thoughts, you're feeding it your emotions, you're literally feeding it. It's not feeding you, it's poisoning you. So stop feeding the challenges of your life with more thoughts and more feelings. Start being fed by something of benevolence, by something that is beautiful and unexpected. So take a break from being yourself. Take a break from your life. Take a break, okay? From time and from environment. Just lay down and be still for a moment and say, okay, my intention is quantum. If you're out there, I welcome something. I welcome something from you. That's probably more. If you do that today, that's more today than you probably did yesterday. And how many hours you spend criticizing yourself, putting yourself down, hating your life, and blah, 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 when you're just taking 5 minutes and you're grumbling about 5 minutes to just see if the quantum is hearing and listening to you. See what weird thing happens. All right, so now just lie down or sit in a chair. I mean, I choose to sit up because if I lie down, I get really relaxed. I also like to speak out loud because I get so relaxed, it'll put me into a sleep state. Because the images come. When the images come, you are receiving an answer. So that's why you'll see in videos, I bring up the classic rubber ducky. Like let's say you get an image of a yellow rubber ducky and you're like, what is yellow rubber duck? Why am I getting yellow rubber ducky? It's going to be perplexing, right? But you're not you anymore. You're just part of the nothing, looking at a big yellow rubber ducky. Now, if you could merge with the yellow rubber ducky, what is it like to be this? Bam! Now the quantum is showing you a new picture. And you're just peaceful in a nice hot tub, just chilling. And you realize that one thing you need to do is chill out, be a rubber ducky in your bathtub, and just chill the freak out. Now you got your quantum message and you're healing yourself, you're putting yourself first, and you're giving the finger to the cesspool because you're being fed by something better than that. And you're choosing it over that. Okay, I think I did it. I know I did it. I did it. All right, thank you guys for watching. I hope this helps. I love you. Thank you for loving me. If I can help you in a session, you can book a session on my website. Abbey, normalswisdomquest.com. That's where I'm at. Have a super great day. And you can't say that someone didn't say I love you today, dang it. Someone loves you. I just said it. I love you. And you want to know who else loves you? The quantum. You want who else loves you? This planet. You want to know who else loves you? Everybody. Everybody on this planet loves you. That's the truth. Okay. Bye for now.